half ago, we changed electricity providers and we couldn't be happier. In this video, we're going to talk about 7 things we love about our electricity provider called Ostrom and some caveats you need to keep in mind if you want to switch. Hey, my name is Jen and I'm from Guatemala.
And mine is Yvonne and I'm German.
And together we're from simplegermany.com, where we create English content to empower internationals to settle into life in Germany more smoothly. First, let's give a little bit of context. In Germany, you have the right and the possibility to change electricity providers. This alone might be super different depending on where you're coming from, because in countries like Guatemala, we have one electricity provider that is subsidized by the government and we have no other choice. But in Germany, you have a choice. And that is super cool because you can choose whichever company you want.
And in our opinion, there are 3 ways to go about choosing your electricity provider in Germany. Number 1 is you don't do anything really and you just stay with your default city provider. Number 2 is you actively compare and seek the cheapest provider in your area via one of the many comparison portals. Or number 3, you choose a provider based on other aspects like the grand scheme of things and just stick with them, which in our case, we've always in the past talked about Ostrom because they're the only provider that also offers their customer service and portal and everything in English. And 1.5 years ago, we chose to change to Ostrom, which before in the past decade before we've stick to the like the basic city provider, which in German is called Grundversorger. We've done the rat race of changing every year or two to find the best deal in the market. So we've done them all. Now we've changed to Ostrom, and I think we're going to stick around for some time and we're going to discuss why in this video. If you'd like a more deep dive on the 3 different options and also how electricity works in Germany, be sure to check out the video in the description where we go into more bits and pieces of the market and how everything works.
Okay, now let's talk about the 7 things we love about Ostrom. Thing number 1 is that it's 100% in English. And this, of course, highly depends on your level of German, but I would say when it comes to service providers and stuff like that and reading contracts, having an English version is very helpful because when it comes to very bureaucratic German, it's just nice to know what the counterpart in English is. And Ostrom has everything in English, from the contracts to the app to customer service, which we have never had to contact their customer service. However, online, the reviews are just amazing on how friendly and attentive and quick they are to reply. So you have the confidence that if you ever need help or to reach out with someone, you can talk in English and someone will take care of you.
Yeah, and also all the updates that get communicated, your invoice, everything is in English. Of course, German and English. It's not just in English, but there's always English by default included. So it's always a dual language communication.
Yes.
Number 2 is they are fully digital. And I mean fully digital. There's other providers that are also modern and techy, but I always ended up getting a letter one way or another, whether it was the invoice or some, let's say, marketing letters. There's always a letter in my mailbox. With Ostrom, over the past 1.5 years, 0, but like 0 paperwork.
That is super cool. And also that means you can do processes without having to send a letter, but you can also do it digitally as well, right? Number 3 is that it's 100% green energy. And if this is something that it matters to you, then this is amazing. Mainly they get their energy from sources like wind, solar, and hydro. So that's also a big plus in our book. Okay, number 4 is transparency. And I have seen, to be honest, Ivan is the one that takes care of the electricity in our household. And I've seen in the past when we had an electricity provider, for example, from the city, there's a lot of hidden fees, or there's like this monthly fee that you pay for the first 6 months, and after 6 months is a different price. And at the end of the day, you don't know exactly how much you're paying. But with Ostrom, it's really transparent. You know the grid fee, you know how much you're going to pay per month, and there are no hidden fees. So that's a massive plus because you, like I said, know exactly how much money you need to put away for your electricity, and there's no guessing or you don't get any surprises at the end of the year like with other providers.
Number 5 is price, because Ostrom has a very different pricing mindset and application than all other electricity providers I've ever had. It's not that they lock you into a contract of 1 or 2 years, or with the Grundversorger like your basic city providers that you have a, let's say, average price in the market. They, Ostrom, really make you pay whatever the market price is, which is a good and a bad thing depending on how your mindset and your thinking really works. For me, it's a good thing because I know I pay what it has to cost. Now, market price doesn't mean that it goes up and down on a daily or monthly basis and I never know what my monthly premium will be. No. In our experience, it doesn't fluctuate monthly. It's set, the set premium, and if Ostrom needs to adapt your price, they'll let you know 4 weeks in advance. Now, we've been, like we said, 1.5 years with them, and those 1.5 years, we've seen 3 price changes. However, they were all price drops, which again is unique. Never in my life have I experienced a price drop with another provider, only increases. So Ostrom really passes on to the customer what they get on the market, whether it's up or down. It's a both-way system. So we've had a price drop 3 times. There might be an increase one day. That is totally, I'm aware of that. However, if you are a little bit on the risk-averse side, they've also introduced a price cap, meaning you can buy an insurance for 50 euros a year so that your price will never rise above a certain threshold, which kind of like gives you the guarantee it will never skyrocket, but they still pass on the cheaper price if it's cheaper. So it's kind of like the best of both worlds. We don't have that price cap because I just believe in paying what the market costs.
Yeah, and that's super cool. And also if the price would increase into something super crazy, like you mentioned, Ostrom lets you know ahead of time and you still have the option to cancel and change providers. So you still have that freedom that it's not that you're signed to the contract and if there's a price increase, you need to suck it up. You always have the freedom to cancel Ostrom monthly, right?
Correct, yes. Unless you book the price cap, then it's also a yearly contract, but then again, you have a price guarantee, so, you know.
And also talking about price, I know this is very subjective because this is at the moment of recording in 2024, but you also mentioned that currently we're paying the cheapest in our neighborhood because electricity prices is kind of like based on the neighborhood that you live in.
On your zip code, yeah.
On your zip code. So currently we're paying the cheapest price in our zip code because you compared Ostrom to other city providers and other providers. And currently we have the cheapest price. So
yeah,
that's pretty cool.
For the purpose of this video, I did this research, correct? Because for me, the lowest price is actually no longer what matters. For me, it's the ease and efficiency of use. But like you just said, I did it just to know where we stand. And I was surprised that they actually are by far currently the cheapest in terms of consumption price, which, I mean, that's pretty awesome.
That is pretty cool.
Number 6 is they're super smart home friendly. Next to offering this flexible price that we just talked about, they also have a dynamic price, which pretty much makes you or uses your appliances at the time when electricity is cheapest. So they really are into optimizing your entire home if you have smart meters, smart thermostats on your heaters, smart everything installed. So if you're that kind of person, they will provide everything for you and even help you equip your home with smart devices through the shop that they have included as well.
Yes, so we don't have any of these smart home devices yet, maybe, but it's a cool feature to know that if we ever want to do that, then it's available.
Yeah, and of course you can also use it to charge your electronic car. You can also use it for your heat pump if heating works like that. So they really are equipped for all that new tech in terms of heating and electricity.
That's super cool.
And number 7, and this is my absolute personal opinion, is that they gave me ownership. And this is because we ran into some irregularities in the new apartment that we moved in terms of electricity consumption. And because of the app that is so user-friendly that really lets me see and add my consumption on a daily or monthly basis, it shows me how it stands in terms of the premium that I'm paying, whether I'm currently overpaying or underpaying, and I can really tweak the whole thing and I can adjust my monthly premium if I'm noticing I'm paying too much or too little to really balance things out. Because of that ease of use, I was able to analyze and understand where the irregularities are coming from and actually solve them, which before never in my life was I able to even do that. I just got an invoice once a year and that was it. I was like surprised. Either I get money back or I pay extra. And now because of the ownership that I had because of the app, we actually only got 7 euros back in the first invoice, which is pretty much on par, which is my goal. I don't want to overpay and I don't want to get money back. I don't want to underpay or I don't want to get money back. So this is really a personal thing for me that I really enjoy, that I have control and I have transparency and I can geek out on it if I want to. Actually, they made me enjoy talking and looking into electricity, which, I mean, a little bit but I do.
I would agree. I have never seen you so really passionate about electricity before. And also, to give a full disclaimer, you go down every month to check the meter and you put that also in the app. So you actively have to be entering the information.
If you don't have a smart meter.
If you don't have a smart meter. If you have a smart meter, it's automatically. But if you don't have a smart meter, then you actively need to enter the information, which takes you 2 minutes, 1 minute. Yeah. And then the app is able to show you these, like the graphs and how much you're consuming and stuff like that, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, totally.
At the beginning of the video, I mentioned that we were going to talk about 2 caveats, but now actually looking at our script, we have 3 that we want to talk about. Number 1 is that the price can go up. There is no guarantee that you're not going to pay a high price unless, of course, you buy this insurance that you talked about, which gives you this guarantee of a price cap. But other than that, just be aware that it's going to be fluctuating, or it can fluctuate every few months or so. Which again, I think if you want super stability and you don't want to deal with that, that might be a caveat.
Yeah, then it might not be the best provider for you. Yeah, totally. That being said, also, they might not be the cheapest in your area. And here it goes really, how is your mindset and economics based up? Do you go for the cheapest and not really care about transparency? Then maybe they're also not the best for you. Or they might be happening to be the cheapest, as for us right now, which for me was just a beautiful surprise, but not the reason why we are with them.
And the third thing is that they do not offer high sign-up bonuses, which a lot of other electricity providers in Germany hook you into being new clients. However, they have a referral program that if you refer Ostrom to someone else, you have a code and you can give that code, and then you get some monetary benefit that you can apply for your electricity payment. And the friend that signs up also gets a benefit, a financial benefit that they can use for their invoice as well. We also have a code, and you are our friend, so if you want to use it, you can check it in the description below. If you want to sign up with Ostrom, you would also get a financial benefit when you do so.
Now, just to clarify, because I know we've been like raving now and super promoting Ostrom as an electricity provider, which really comes from my heart because I've dealt with them most of the time. However, very important, we love when people walk the talk. And here at Simple Germany, we aim to do the same, meaning that whenever we talk about service providers in Germany, we aim to also use as many of them as possible as private customers. Most of the time, these providers don't even know that we signed up with them because, again, we want to know what it's really like to be their customer. Same is the case for Ostrom. They are also our partner, meaning that if you use the link in the description at the bottom, we do get an affiliate commission here at Simple Germany at no extra cost to you, which allows us to keep creating content like this for you to help you settle into life in Germany more smoothly. So this is a two-way kind of video. Yes, they are a partner, but everything we just said is completely unbiased, and this is not a paid sponsorship video. This is purely based on our own opinion and experience.
And again, all the information that we talked about in this video, including referral codes and another video about how electricity in Germany works, can be found in the description box below. Until next time, tschüss!